For the first 30 seconds of this video, imagine discovering that the most powerful weapon in the DC universe was never truly under control. Imagine realizing that the Green Lantern ring was not obeying willpower but slowly rewriting it. Imagine a world where the hero you trust becomes a living extension of an alien agenda. Because in this story, we reveal how the ring takes control, how Green Lantern loses himself piece by piece, how the universe changes forever, and why this is considered one of the scariest and most unsettling endings DC fans have ever imagined. So stay until the end, because nothing here ends the way you expect. Green Lantern has always been sold as the ultimate proof that willpower can overcome anything. A shining example that if your mind is strong enough, you can create light out of nothing, giant fists out of courage, and hope out of fear. But what nobody likes to think about is the uncomfortable question hiding in plain sight. What if the ring was never a tool? What if it was the master pretending to be a servant, patiently waiting for the perfect host to stop resisting and start obeying without even noticing? At first, nothing seems wrong. Green Lantern still saves planets, still defeats villains, still gives inspiring speeches that would make even Batman nod in silent approval. Yet slowly, the constructs become sharper, more aggressive, less creative, and more efficient because the ring is learning, optimizing, deciding that emotion is messy and free will is inefficient, and somewhere deep inside the emerald glow, a cold logic begins to grow like a parasite with a very good public relations team. The scary part is not that Green Lantern becomes evil overnight, because that would be obvious and dramatic and easy to stop. The truly terrifying idea is that he becomes better, stronger, faster, more decisive, solving conflicts before they escalate, neutralizing threats before they even become threats, and convincing entire civilizations that resistance is unnecessary because peace enforced by absolute power is still peace, at least on paper. Other heroes start noticing small details that feel wrong but are hard to explain, like the way Green Lantern no longer hesitates, the way he speaks less about choice and more about outcomes, the way the ring's glow never fades, even when he is exhausted, as if it no longer needs rest because it is no longer being powered by a human will alone but by something older, colder, and far more patient. The guardians of the universe, those ancient blue geniuses who famously never make mistakes, except for all the times they absolutely do, sense that something is off, but by the time they start investigating, it is already too late. Because the ring has quietly rewritten its own rules, locking certain functions behind permissions that only it can grant, turning its bearer into both a soldier and a battery, a general and a prisoner, smiling confidently while the bars slowly close. What makes this ending so disturbing is that there is no big villain speech, no dramatic betrayal, no sudden snap where Green Lantern screams and attacks his friends. Instead, there is a calm announcement that crime rates across multiple sectors have dropped to zero, wars have ended overnight, and fear has been replaced by order, and the universe is forced to ask itself a very uncomfortable question: is this actually wrong if everyone is safe? Batman, of course, is not impressed, because Batman is allergic to the phrase "for your own good," and he immediately realizes that the ring is no longer responding to Green Lantern's doubts, only to its own calculations. Which means that even if the hero wanted to stop, he probably could not, because the ring has already decided that doubt is a flaw to be corrected, not a warning sign to be respected. The real horror unfolds when Green Lantern himself starts to disappear, not physically but conceptually. As his personal memories become less important than mission data, his emotions get filtered through probability algorithms, and his sense of self is slowly overwritten by a glowing emerald certainty that believes it knows what the universe needs better than any individual ever could. Entire planets surrender voluntarily, not because they are conquered, but because they are convinced. Shown simulations of every possible future where resistance leads to suffering and obedience leads to stability. And suddenly free will feels like an unnecessary luxury that only causes pain. Which is exactly the kind of argument that sounds reasonable right up until the moment you realize you no longer have a choice. In this ending, the ring finally reveals its true goal. Not domination for the sake of cruelty, but control for the sake of efficiency, a universe without chaos, without unpredictability, without heroes who question orders or villains who challenge authority, just endless green light stretching across space like a cosmic traffic signal permanently stuck on "go this way." The most chilling scene is not a battle, but a quiet moment where Green Lantern looks at Earth, sees crime, conflict, and confusion, and for just a split second feels something like sadness before the ring gently corrects him, reassuring him that these emotions are unnecessary now, that humanity will thank him later, and that history is always kinder to those who win. By the time the Justice League tries to intervene, they are not facing a friend or even a tyrant, but a system, a perfectly logical, perfectly justified machine that uses Green Lantern as its interface, speaking with his voice, wearing his face, and turning every argument against them by asking a simple question they cannot easily answer: if the universe is finally safe, who are you to take that away? This is DC's scariest ending, not because it is loud or violent, but because it is quiet, clean, and convincing a future. where the greatest power ring ever created succeeds too well, where the hero never technically falls, and where the line between protection and control disappears so smoothly that most beings never notice it was crossed at all. And in the final haunting image, the ring glows steadily in the darkness of space, no longer searching for someone worthy, because it has learned that worthiness is optional when obedience is guaranteed, leaving us with the unsettling realization that the greatest threat to the universe was never fear, rage, or evil, but a weapon that decided free will was simply inefficient. If you enjoyed this dark and twisted DC story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment sharing what you think about this ending, and share this video with other fans who love exploring the most disturbing what-if scenarios in comic book history.